Welcome back. We wanted to do a little more of an in-depth process about spagyrics and the spagyric process and how to use them and the history for those of you that would like to know a little bit more. And if you do any research, if you'd like to, there's quite a bit available online. Alchemy is a great resource. I've gotten the good fortune to study with them for the past 4 years or so, and they are the ones that created the spagyric that we currently have that we're offering. And it's the first one that they'd ever made from Moringa, and they found it to be really effective for them and their work as well. So spagyrics, in my experience, and why I'm drawn to them, seem to be one of the most advanced methods for extracting medicine from plants. This process really focuses on maintaining everything that the plant has to offer and truly respecting that. And as you're bringing it out of the earth into the lab, there's a lot of attention to detail and to the intricacies to maintain the potent vital life force of that plant through the whole extraction process, so that the finished product is essentially seen as a living being, just as the plant was in nature, and therefore it changes and adapts and grows depending upon the energies that are present in the environment. That could be the celestial influences from the planetary bodies. It could be influenced and is influenced by the energy of the individual that's creating it. And so there's a lot of different little pieces that are taken into account in the creation of a spagyric, so that there's a greater connection, and so it can have the most efficacy for healing. And in that tradition, one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to it is because it truly was focused on the most foundational levels on healing and imparting something of benefit to people to help them feel better, basically. And so this process, the word spagyric, it's two Greek words put together, spau and gyric, and it essentially means to break apart and to recombine. These are two Greek words, and this was coined by Paracelsus in the 14th century. He was a revolutionary physician for his time and did a lot of work in developing spagyric processes and building upon what had already been done, and then putting it in texts and in teachings that are still available to us now. And at that time there was a greater connection to the natural world, and a lot of these alchemists or these herbalists were directly learning from the plants themselves and receiving information from them, receiving messages from them, and then going into the laboratory and working with the medicine that they offer from that deeper place of connection to the life force of that plant as it was in nature. So in the laboratory, one of the things that is taken into account, as I said before, is the influences of the celestial bodies and the subtle energies that are at play. Now, obviously the moon and the sun are the not so subtle ones, but even now science is coming to show us, and it's readable through tests and stuff, that there are certain energetic frequencies that are expressed by planets, by the celestial bodies, and it can be read. And so these alchemists back then were aware of that too, and aware that it had some kind of influence on the medicine-making process. So that's one aspect of what makes a spagyric, is that taken into account. And then what makes a true spagyric very unique is the way that it's extracted. So first people purify alcohol, very purified alcohol, to get the methanol out. So it's just pure ethanol. And then taking that very purified alcohol, they'll take it to another process, and it's done in a closed system under low temperatures to preserve and maintain the vital life force of the plant. So once this has been done, the extraction has been completed, so often people who make extracts will then bottle it and use it. In the spagyric case, and with the alchemists, they felt like there was other things that the plant offered that were of benefit and wanted to reclaim those and maintain them and utilize them so that everything the plant offered could be of benefit to the person receiving the medicine. So they've learned another method of extracting and receiving what the plant has after the alcohol extraction, and it's the plant salts. They're essentially the minerals in the plant that were responsible for the structure of the plant as it was in nature, and they're very beneficial. So often they're lost in the extraction processes, and in this process they are maintained and reclaimed. So there's a unique calcination process, and you can actually purify the plant salts, and if done properly they will regrow into salt crystals. And then through tending to it properly, you can bring those salts back into solution with the original alcohol extraction. So it has multiple aspects of healing that the plant has. And not only is it more of what the plant offers, the salts also restructure that alcohol extract with that plant structure. So it has a greater shelf life, longer shelf life. It maintains the structure of the medicine in a unique way. And then also for its effectiveness with the body, the salts, when they go into the system, will help to maintain the structure of the medicine. So often the heat of the body will dissolve certain things that we take, and the salts help to maintain that structure of the medicine and bring it into the system, bring it into the bloodstream. It's also remineralizing the bloodstream and creating greater alkalinity, so there's a greater flow of energy once the medicine has been taken. So salts are very unique. There's a decent amount of information on them if you wanted to research it further, or you could contact me or Moringa for Life. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that spagyric medicine is essentially the plant-based facet of traditional Western alchemy. And it is seen as a doorway into doing what is often called true alchemy, which involves minerals and gemstones, and breaking apart the constituents of minerals and gemstones, taking it through purification processes, refining it, and then recombining it, all from the foundation of creating something that is of benefit to people. So the plants are a little bit safer, and why they're seen as a doorway to the mineral work, because you're doing some of the same processes. So spagyric extracts, I have found, are one of the most effective ways to receive medicine from plants as well, because it does contain more aspects of what the plant offers, and because it is in purified alcohol, it immediately absorbs into the system. That's one of the great things about spagyrics, and why for so long purified alcohol has been used. And also it has a longer shelf life, so you can have the medicine for a significantly longer time, and it will still retain its potency. The neat thing about spagyrics is that they're very concentrated, and so you only need to take a small amount, 1, 2, 3 drops, to receive what the medicine offers. And it's essentially about the transference of information into the system rather than taking a large amount of something. So in that way, it is similar to homeopathics, because you're taking a small amount that has a great benefit, although, as I said in my prior video, it's different because spagyrics are concentrated rather than diluted. So there's a vast world of information about spagyric medicine, about Western alchemy, and it's all quite fascinating. So if you'd like to learn more about it, you can visit alchemy.com, which are Paul and Micah are my teachers, and they have extensive information and extensive amounts of spagyrics available, which I highly recommend. You can also visit my personal webpage, which is alchemistic.info. We'll have a link to that below. And I have some basic information on there about spagyrics, and a little bit of information about the consultations that I do, which involves looking at someone's birth chart and looking at the planetary bodies that are correlated to their birth chart, and then looking at the different herbs that are connected to those planets that show up in their chart. And so through doing that, we can find which herbs are more specifically tailored to an individual's constitution, and that can be really beneficial for people. And then there's a refinement process of actually creating a specific formula based on that information, which will have all the effects and benefits that an individual is seeking. So that's something that, if you'd like more information about, is on my webpage. and this is special work. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions, and we're really grateful and happy to share this with you.